Welcome back to the channel, guys. Let's get straight into today's story. The BBC is in the spotlight again, and not for celebrating sporting excellence, but for what viewers are calling woke coverage of the Sports Personality of the Year awards. The annual awards show, a staple of British sports culture, has been blasted on social media and across public opinion for what many see as political correctness creeping into the night that should be about pure achievement. This year's ceremony was held on a Thursday, a departure from the traditional weekend slot, and already that change has annoyed long-term viewers. What should be a family night celebrating British and world sporting heroes has been turned into a forum for agendas, according to critics. Fans took to social media to express their frustration. One viewer said they always used to watch it, not anymore, and blamed the BBC for ruining it over the years with what they consider unnecessary and distracting commentary around the awards. Others asked why categories weren't separated fairly, questioning mixing very different athletic achievements in a single open competition. At the heart of the complaints is the perception that the BBC has shifted from being a broadcaster of sport to a mouthpiece for cultural messaging. People are pointing to the host, the framing of topics, and the general tone of the coverage as proof that the broadcaster is pushing a certain worldview rather than letting the sport and the sportsperson shine. That's not just nitpicking, that's a reflection of a growing belief among many Brits that the BBC prioritises woke messaging over what the ordinary viewers care about. For decades, Sports Personality of the Year was a night where athletes, regardless of background, gender or sport, were celebrated for their accomplishments. Legends like Sir Jackie Stewart, Dame Kelly Holmes and Sir Mo Farah were honoured simply for their excellence. But increasingly, critics say the modern BBC has lost sight of that mission, focusing instead on ticking boxes and pushing narratives that feel less about sport and more about ideology. It's not surprising that this isn't an isolated complaint. Recently, the BBC has faced widespread criticism, not just for Sports Personality of the Year, but its broader approach to sports and news coverage. From accusations of unfair voting procedures to accusations of bias in its general broadcasting. Viewers and commentators alike have become more vocal, arguing that the corporation's priorities have shifted away from objective reporting towards cultural signalling. This frustration goes beyond just one award show. People who grew up watching Sports Personality fondly talk about how the ceremony used to be the highlight of the year. Now some feel it's become something they barely recognise. Social media posts describe it as BBC-fied, meaning soaked in political messaging and not enough about the incredible achievements of sports stars. Let's be clear, celebrating diversity and inclusivity in sport is one thing. Recognising trailblazers and breaking barriers are absolutely worthy parts of the cultural conversation. But there's a difference between ordinary achievement and televising ideology, and it seems more and more people believe the BBC is doing the latter. When viewers turn on their TVs expecting a night about sport and triumph, only to see more emphasis on cultural talking points, they feel let down. And this backlash isn't limited to fringe commentators. Ordinary Britons, dads, mums, grandparents are saying that they've tuned out because the programme isn't what it used to be. That's a big deal. Sports Personality of the Year used to be a night everyone in the family could enjoy. Now people are saying they'll skip it or watch only highlights. Whether you agree with the BBC's editorial choices or not, the outcry tells us two things. One, sports fans want coverage that puts athletic achievement front and centre, and two, there's growing distrust of institutions seen as pushing cultural agendas rather than focusing on what audiences actually want. For many people, Sports Personality of the Year should be about sport, not social commentary, not cultural posturing, not politically anything. When that line gets blurred, viewers speak up, and right now they're speaking louder than ever. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want more honest political commentary and don't want to miss what's really happening behind the headlines, hit subscribe now and drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think.